So we're going to run through this agenda and then vote on them all at one time. Thank you for your patience.
Bobby. Hey, good to see you, Bobby.
Okay, all right. Okay, the first item is BL 2013-494, Wester Home, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from R6 to MUN-A zoning for properties on Eastern Avenue located opposite Scott Avenue. Item number 2, BL 2014-655, Baker Dominic Hunt, an ordinance authorizing Metro to negotiate and accept permanent easement for the Nashville Stormwater Improvement Project. Item number 3, an ordinance authorizing Metro to abandon easement rights retained in former alley number 995 and easement retained in an unnumbered alley and to partially abandon approximately 170 feet of a 20-foot sewer easement for properties located at 711 Gallatin Avenue, 719 Gallatin Avenue, 714 North 12th, and 800 North 12th Street. Next item is BL 2014-657, Wiener, Dominic, and Hunt, an ordinance authorizing Metro to abandon approximately 350 linear feet of an existing easement for the property located at 7747 Indian Spring Drive. Next item is BL 2014-658, Dominique, Matthews, and Hunt, an ordinance authorizing Metro to negotiate and accept temporary easement for the Board Drive Stormwater Improvement Project. Next item is BL 2013-616, Wester Home, an ordinance amend the zoning ordinance by changing from R6 to SP zoning for properties located at 700 and 704 Porter Road and 2009 Eastern Avenue to permit up to 11 detached single-family residential units. Next item is 2013-617, Scott Davis, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from IWD to RM20-A zoning for properties located at 717 and 801 Cherokee Avenue. The next item is BL 2013-618, Glover, and this is an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from RS15 to MUN zoning for properties located at 4225 Central Pike. The next item is 2013-619, Stites, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from R10 to IWD zoning for properties located at McGavitt Pike unnumbered. The next item is 2013-620, Wester Home, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from R8 to XP for properties located at 906 Boscobel Street to permit up to 2 detached residential dwelling units. The next item is 2013-621. The sponsor is Allen, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from R6 to SP for property located at 2107 Bernard Avenue to permit an existing building to be used for general office, medical office, and/or residential. The next item is 2013-623, Scott Davis, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from RS5 to SP zoning for property located at 1317 Jones Avenue to permit a single family or a detached 2-family dwelling residential unit. The next item is 2013-624, Harrison, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from R8 to an RS 7.5 to IWD zoning for properties located at 443, 457 Woolfolk Avenue and 2512, 2600 and 2604 Brickchurch Pike, and a portion of property at 2506 Brickchurch Pike. The next item is 2013-625. The sponsor is Moore. An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from CS to NIWD to RI-A zoning for various properties located along Nass Lane and Parish Avenue. The next item is 2013-626. McGuire is the sponsor. An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from R40 to SP for properties located at 1804, 1808 Gray Bar Lane, and 1919 and 1921 Woodmont Boulevard to permit up to 28 residential units. The next item is 2013-627. Scott Davis. An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from CL to CL and RS5 to SP zoning for properties located at 719, 723, 731 Douglas Avenue to permit up to 29 residential dwelling units and office use. The next item is 628. The next item is Bill 2013-628, Holloman, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance by changing from RS5, CS, and IR to SP for various properties located along Charlotte Pike, Park Avenue, 40th Avenue North, and Elkins Avenue, and bound by Charlotte Avenue to the north, 40th Avenue North to the east, alley number 1197 to the south, and a CSX Railroad to the west to permit uses permitted in the MUL-A district up to 320 residential units. The next item is 2013-629. The sponsors are Bennett, Anthony Davis, and others. An ordinance amending section 8.12.020 and 17.16.250 pertaining to the keeping of chickens on residential property to remove the sunset vision and remove the prohibitions of chicken in certain council districts. Are there any that needs to be pulled? Did you have a? Okay, we have a motion. Is there? Oh, okay. Thank you. Councilman Benton, you have one you want to pull?
Yeah, I wanted to find out if we have to exclude 629 to go over the amendments, or that's not necessary.
It's at the discretion of the committee.
Yes,
It's not absolutely.
I can't hear you, sir.
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
It's at the discretion of the committee. It's not absolutely required that the committee make a recommendation on substitutes and amendments, but often that is done.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to record the votes on the? I mean, I'd like to make sure that I'm recorded a certain way when we vote on that particular one. So if you don't mind, can you exclude that one?
Yeah. Pull 629 off the consent.
Okay, we've got 629 is being pulled off the consent agenda.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, so you can take a motion and all the rest of it.
okay, at this time, then we'll take a motion. Have a motion. Can we vote on 629?
No, this is on all other consent items.
Oh,
first,
okay.
And then we'll come back to that one.
Oh, I got it straight. We're gonna vote on all the consent items, and then we'll come back and vote on Bill 629. All in favor of the consent agenda except 629? Can I have a motion? I'm sorry.
We did, we've got
Got a motion. All in favor, 629? Say aye.
the consent agenda.
On the consent agenda, right? All right. The consent agenda is passed. Now we're gonna go back to 629 on the bin pool. Okay. Councilman Bennett. Council Lady Bennett? Okay, I think I got you here. Just a minute. Okay, Council Lady Bennett?
Thank you, Chairman Hunt. We have a substitute bill, if John will give me a nod.
Yes.
We have a substitute bill that I would like to offer. Basically, the changes on it will be to add on the application a request to submit a picture with your application or a drawing of the chicken coop, and also what the exterior veneer will be made of.
And that's an amendment.
That's a substitute.
A substitute, I'm
Substitute.
sorry, yeah. Okay.
And I ask for approval of that, please.
Okay, we have a substitute. Good, the motion, second. Okay, questions? Council Lady Gilmore?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Council Lady Bennett, I just wanted to know, what would this do? We're asking for pictures, and just explain why you brought this amendment forward.
I had two separate council members request this. On the application, the addition will be that they submit a photo of the chicken coop, or if they have not purchased or built the chicken coop, they have to submit a drawing, one, and then two, they have to submit what the exterior veneer will be made of, whether it's hardy board or wood plank or vinyl siding or whatever the exterior is going to be. And we wanted to add that to the legislation. The legislation itself originally is to remove the sunset provision. It's been 2 years, so we want to remove that provision and continue the legislation on, as well as remove the opt-out districts that we put in originally.
And who would review it? Can you just speak to who's going to review each one of these applications when they're submitting the materials? No,
The applications are submitted to the health department, and they are required to provide a $25 permit fee, as well as the application filled out. In the application, which is available on the health department's website, is a 2-page application. And there's some items that are pretty clear here that I think they're very important to notice. 2 items are highlighted. One of them are many homeowners associations bylaws do not allow poultry of any kind, including domesticated hens. Applicants should check their HOA bylaws to confirm that domesticated hens are permissible. This permit does not override existing homeowners association bylaws. And then it also says that by signing the application, that they understand that any violation of that their permit's null and void. And it has all the issues of the permit, which originally included, no slaughtering of the chickens, the hens. They must be kept in a predator-proof container, as well as the food. They have setback regulations, that type of thing. Does that answer your question?
it does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Harrison?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have one question for the sponsor. In the event that these pictures are submitted beforehand and the applicant wants to make some improvements later on, perhaps, what do? Do they have to submit
They're
more
allowed
photos?
to do so. Well, they will when they renew their permit the next year, because technically right now they're all renewing in January. So it's a consistent annual thing. So you would just submit it again with your application.
Councilman Benny?
Yes, thank you. I think my recollection is something, I appreciate the pictures and the drawings. That's really great. Thanks for doing that. However, I think something you just said doesn't square with something I got from the health department, so can I ask them a question?
Sure.
Okay. So when it comes to HOA, there is a statement on the application that says that they are not, that they cannot build it on the HOA. If it's, the HOA has it in the bylaws that they cannot build it. Now the question is, if they build it anyway, if they lie to you on the application, and you are not going to enforce that, correct? You're just going to enforce the other things, but not the one that pertains to HOAs.
There's an affidavit that goes with the application that says, I read the law, I know what the rules and everything are, and I agree that I'm going to abide by all these. There's one of the questions, one of the statements in the affidavit is that I affirm that I live in an area that allows chickens. The question is that a reference to an area that has a homeowner association covenant that restricts it, or is it the district that allows it? It is our belief, and it was our intention when we wrote the affidavit, for that to mean I affirm that I live in a district, a council district, that allows chickens, because up until now, or today at least, there are 8 in which they are not allowed. So it is not our intention to enforce HOA regulations. I don't think that's our role.
Okay, thank you. So if I may, I rambled a lot before, I apologize. But, so that's not going to be enforceable. If they lie on the application when it comes to meeting HOA guidelines, that won't cancel the application, that won't declare null and void.
If the new version of the bill is passed and the law is applied throughout the county, we will take that question on the affidavit out.
Thank you. Ms. Bennett, that's the discrepancy that I was.
Okay, if I may, I'm going to quote what the certification says that Mr. Sharp was alluding to. This is further down in the paragraph of what they're certifying. I certify that I have read the rules and regulations and intend to abide by them. I understand that any false statements or omissions may result in denial or revocation of this permit. Failure to comply with the regulations is subject to a fine $50 per day for each violation.
But that doesn't apply to lying about HOA, correct?
There's nothing in the statute that requires you to abide by the homeowners association regulations, and so we would not enforce that part.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments, questions? Okay, we got a motion on the substitute bill. Is there a second? All in favor on the bill as substitute? Opposed? 629 has been substituted. Now we vote on the bill as substituted.
Move approval.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Wait a minute, got a question. Councilman Benet.
Yeah, you didn't open for discussion. I just
I'm
wanted
sorry.
to, I apologize. I didn't mean to tell you how to do your job.
Not a problem.
I just wanted to be, clarify my vote, if I'm permitted to do so. I am for the legislation as it is now, for the districts where it's been available to people. I respectfully request that the opt-out is kept, and that the people in the Southeast that requested that exception exists will be kept. I would like to, perhaps this is not necessarily the best way to do this. It would be better to go through a zoning overlay, or even the other amendment that I had, which will require some people to sign off on the application. But as it is now, that is the only option I feel I have. So I would like to be recorded as voting no, but that doesn't mean that I am against the legislation, that I'm just wanting to prevent the opt-out to be removed. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're ready for the vote. All in favor of Bill 629
May want to take a hand vote since.
as substitute, I need to see a show of hands.
That's aye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Eight. I got 8. And then however the chair votes.
Okay.
Yeah, 8
9.
and then 9. So it'd be
Okay.
9-4.
And
how many again?
how many against? Raise your hand. 1.
9-1.
9-1, the bill is approved. Yes.
I don't know, because it's a whole bunch of them.
Got a question. Use your mic.
Thank you, Mr. President. Attorney Cooper.
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Garrett. Is there any legal ramifications involved due to the opting out of certain districts?
There could be, if Metro were sued by someone in one of those districts who wanted chickens and couldn't get them because of the district exclusion, I would say odds are better than no that the court would say that there wasn't a valid reason for making that distinction. But we haven't had anything like that challenge, so I don't know for sure how a court would rule.
Are there any more comments? Go ahead.
Would the same be true if it was turned around, like Mr. Davis said?
What do you mean by that?
Somebody wanted to sue us because they did want chickens in their districts.
Well, to have standing, typically you have to apply for a permit and be denied. I don't know if someone who lived in that they would not have standing. If the opt-out is removed, then a person would not have standing to challenge it because it wouldn't exist.
Councilman Holloman, are you on?
But now I'm on. To follow up on that, I think my concern is, are you aware of any other time when we have taken a text amendment like this and allowed certain council districts to opt in or opt out
No.
Okay.
This is the only time that's happened.
in 50 years?
It's the only time something like that has ever been in the zoning code as far back as I could find.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Councilman Garrett has the potential answer to that question.
Sure, I'd love to hear it. Thank you.
He
So
said the
you,
answer is
you
no.
concur, as a historian, you would concur? All right, Mr. Tiger, would you concur with that as well? Then it must be so. Thank you.
It is so ordered. Are there any other comments? Seeing no other comments, this committee is adjourned.